The Dead Space remake. Where do I even begin with this game? It is a remake of the all-time classic Dead Space. If you haven't played it before, I highly recommend playing that, or just the original games, period. Like, all of the Dead Space games are absolutely amazing. Next up, Costume Quest 1 and 2. If you have not played Costume Quest before, essentially, you're playing as these kids that are, going trick-or-treating. Your quest is to get your sister back. You get to switch between, like, Halloween costumes, and depending on what costume you're wearing, you get, like, different abilities in battle. It's really cool. The next one is Bloodborne. We'll just sum it up in a couple of words. Yharnam, saw cleavers, hunters, werewolves. Like, do you really need to hear any more? Next up, we have The Evil Within. The best way that I can describe it is Resident Evil 4 if it relied more on, like, the gore and the horror elements. And finally, the last game on my list is gonna be Resident Evil 1. There's nothing I can say about Resident Evil 1 that hasn't been said before. It's one of my favorite horror games of all time. By proxy, I could recommend really the entire Resident Evil series. Even some of the more action-packed ones like Resident Evil 6. No matter what Resident Evil game you play, man, just Resident Evil in general is just such an amazing series.